Hey, how you doing, guys? This is Joey from Real Estate Talk NYC. Hope you guys are doing great. I just want to give you guys an inside scoop of what happened with my tenant that I evicted, if you want to call it eviction. Basically, it started about last year, July 1st. She moved in. She paid the first 3 months and then decided to do ERAP. From then on, she was really shaking up the whole building as far as being a nuisance. 23 years old, partying all the time, and everybody in the building was getting upset with her. I had them give me a date and time of the event that's occurring, and two tenants gave it to me, and one tenant gave me 13 pages worth of it. So it's always good to get help from the other tenants because the judge will give more lenience if another tenant in the building is complaining with proof. So I had one tenant, she gave me doctor's paperwork that she had anxiety. She wrote letters and she said she's willing to testify if we got down to a trial. So it's great because, as a landlord, your word sometimes isn't the greatest, but another tenant in the building is more better. So then I decided to put cameras. You should do the cameras right away. So I put cameras on every floor. And then once a week, I was checking the cameras. So I backed away from my tenant. I told her nothing. I stayed quiet. I went dark. And, she probably forgot about the cameras and went along her merry way. So she gave me some good footage. Her kicking the door, her smoking in the hallway, loud noise, 2 in the morning, dragging cans, bags of bottles at 7 in the morning, screaming in the hallway, you name it. And I had it all down and I filed a nuisance case. So once I filed a nuisance case, it went to housing court, and the first court date came, and it wasn't even a court. It was just I met with like a liaison, like a secretary with my lawyer, and all the liaison, the secretary wanted to know was how can we resolve this as soon as possible. So she went ahead and said $11,000, and the liaison's like, well, what do you want to spend? I said, I'm not spending that much. I said $2,000. She goes, well, we don't have a resolve. So I see you have, she told the tenant, I see you have a lot of nuisance. Come back to me in a month and rebuttal those nuisances and tell me your side of the story. Now my lawyer stood quiet, but I wanted to jump in and say, wait, I have the camera. Why are we wasting a whole month? I have camera footage. There's nothing for her to say. But my lawyer told me to stay quiet, and that's how it worked out. So then a month came. She never showed. And we went, and that was it. And then the next court case, I was supposed to do it on one date. I ended up in Florida, and it was pushed back like a week earlier. So I couldn't go, so my lawyer went. He said they adjourned it because she didn't show. And then the final court date was a third or fourth time. And she showed because she wanted the money. And so she came in, and basically in between that time frame, I'll tell you what happened. So she started out 11,000, and I told her, do you want 8? And she refused. She said, no, 11. And I switched lawyers. The one lawyer I had was very non-comprehensible. He wouldn't respond to my calls. He wouldn't respond to my texts, emails, nothing. So I found a new lawyer with the help of people on a Facebook page, Landlord Coalition. I thank you guys. And I found a new lawyer, and I didn't know this, but you could switch from one lawyer's paperwork to the new lawyer. So it was my new lawyer sent a letter to my previous lawyer. So guys, I'm just going to intervene and just say that the reason why I'm struggling with lawyers is because the lawyer I had, which was very good, he retired. And I've been scrambling to get a new lawyer, and it's not easy. It's like dating people, and you got to really do your due diligence and, what the reviews say. Like the gentleman I had to get rid of, the lawyer I had to get rid of, had really good reviews. And it just, you don't know, you really got to kind of like get in it and just try them out. But I just realized going to court often that, one suggestion for anyone looking for a lawyer is, you get a lot of feedback from lawyers at the courthouses live. I mean, there was one lady there that was really aggressive during the court case. And if I didn't have my lawyer, I would have said, hey, can I contact you? Do you have a card? So you really can get good feedback. If you go to the housing court, like on the days they're open, and you just sit there and you kind of like scope out, you go to the courthouses and you scope out which lawyer is good, which lawyer is not good. And you say, can I get your business card? Or here's my business card. And you can get right into the meat and potatoes of who's good and who's not, because you watch the court case. And there's one lady, like I said, this one lady was amazing. She was really aggressive. She was really fighting for her client. And if I didn't have my lawyer there, I definitely would have asked her for her business card. So I think that would be the best route, because reviews and what they say on the phone in the initial phone call. I mean, like I said, my deadbeat first lawyer, he was very convincing. He was calling me brother. He was acting like my buddy, and then he just disappeared. Once I paid him, he was gone. So it's tough. It's tough to really get a new lawyer. So. Saying we will be taking over the housing court case. So he signed a paper and we took over, and that was the best thing to happen because this guy was awesome. And basically, we went forward with a new money agreement of 4,000. She said no, 11. So anyway, so I stood pat, and I kept putting like no smoking signs in the hallway. I put a barricade where they were parking always in the driveway. I put signs that say cameras up and showing stuff. And then on top of that, I threw in a Supreme Court paper too, to give more attention. And what I did even more was that I told the lady downstairs, keep calling the cops, keep pushing her, let her have a miserable time here. And it was just too much for her. And, towards the end, her price went down to 8 on the second to last court date, and I refused because now her lease, thankfully, her lease was only 1 year, but you always should give 1 year leases to the person you first rent to. Her lease was only 1 year, and it was around May, so I was like, no, you lost your window. I'm not doing 8 no more. I'm going down to 6. So she refused 6, and we stayed at 8. Then her lease expired. Then her court case was coming. Now, she already called the city on me the first few times because she got the court papers from the housing because she got annoyed, and she complained about roaches and mice. Then she got the Supreme Court papers, and then what happened was that she had her sink, her kitchen sink was clogged. And she texted me, and this was beyond her lease expiring. And she said, hey, I need my kitchen sink unclogged. Come and fix it. In my head, I was like, no way. And if you go when her lease expires, then you lose all control, and she becomes like fully controlled of you. So I made it clear in my head, I am not going to respond to her. I'm going to deal directly with HPD because I'm waiting for the call for HPD. She actually wrote me the next day and said, yeah, I'll be calling 311 since you don't want to respond. By the third day, she kind of probably came to her senses and said, you know what? All right, I'll take the 6,000. Because she realized I'm not going to be a pushover and give you what you want. So she was fed up because the lady downstairs, I think that was a big one. It was the lease expiring, me being tough, and the lady downstairs who constantly called the cops. I kept pushing her. I said, do not be afraid of her. Keep calling the cops. And I have footage of the cops knocking on her door saying, I will take away your stereo or whatever music you're blasting, your speakers, if you keep doing what you're doing. And she actually got lippy with the cops too. So I think she just got fed up because all she wanted to do was party and blast music. And thankfully, she asked for 6. My lawyer wrote up the papers. And I never even met her. I never even texted her for like 4 months. We never communicated at all. Everything she eventually learned was going through the lawyer. So she called a lawyer, and the lawyer would call me. And the lawyer wrote up the papers to surrender the keys while I give her 6,000. She met the lawyer at her office, at the lawyer's office, and I never even communicated. I dropped off the check. My lawyer said she's on her way. She left her door open of the apartment. I scoped out the apartment, made sure everything was good. I gave a call to my lawyer. I said, go ahead, give her the check. She left the keys with the lawyer, the house keys. A few days later, I picked up the keys, but everything was done through my lawyer. So don't have to have a need to communicate with them if you feel like they're irrational. This tenant of mine was a circle, and what I mean by that is that lying, manipulating, you name it, playing guilt trip. She was the whole nine. 23 years old, it's incredible. So I just got tired. In the beginning, I was trying to communicate with her. I told her how, you know, I'm a working person that has to pay bills. I have a family. And I just tried tactics. You know, you don't have to try the tactics of changing her lock when she goes away on vacation. Do tactics of, you know, putting herself in your shoes, and basically saying, you know, I have bills. You know, with COVID, I didn't get a break. I got tons of bills. The ERAP money's not coming in because you're only 23 and you're by yourself. And nothing. I even sent her an apology video because we had a little bit of a tisk, you know, headbutting, and nothing. And she thought I was a pushover when I got all that good footage. And even the judge read out all her stuff. She's kicking the door, she's smoking. So hopefully it's a life lesson for her moving forward. I hope she doesn't do this to the next person. I pray. But the moral of it is to stay calm. I mean, it was stressful, but to stay calm and to stay level-headed. Don't be drastic. Don't sound the sirens in your head. This is part of being a landlord. Money will be lost. Things will be unjust. And, you know, the courts are not for you. The courts are for the tenant. So, unfortunately, an eviction. Now, I just want to tell you, the first court case happened, and then a month later was the next one, and then 2 months later was the next one. Now, once I evicted her, it went from July 27th. The next court day was October 27th. So, can you imagine? They don't care. The court does not care. They were going to make me wait 3 months. And then the first time, a month had to pass because she had a month to write a rebuttal, which she never did. She never did none of it. She never showed up to anything. She only showed up the first time to request 11,000, and then the last time. All this in between, all the requests, nothing. And at the last court case, actually the lawyer said, we'll give you a come on Thursday, and we'll give you a lawyer pro bono for free. So once I heard that, I said, she got really excited. She goes, oh, this Thursday? And I said, you know what? I talked to my lawyer. I talked to my lawyer once I got home. And I said, let's just pay her the 6 because I see where this is going. And also, guys, I want to add that I had the Supreme Court going and I had a housing court going. And, you know, my lawyer made it promising about the Supreme Court, but sometimes you got to know when the ship is sinking. And I was like, you know what? I was just mentally drained from it. Let me just give her the 6,000. I gave up the Supreme Court, which I spent money on, and the housing court, just so I know there's an absolute resolution right now that she wants the 6,000, and she was really making it adamant at the court case that she really wants that 6 and she wants to leave. So I knew she wasn't playing any games because she was really emotional about getting that 6,000. And during the whole court case, all she kept saying is, "I need money. I want money." There was nothing else. She had no lawyer to represent her. All she kept saying was, "I need money. I want money." I mean, it was just ridiculous. She had her side of the story was so sloppy, and they still give her, the court still gives her the benefits, and they give her the preferences. So with the ERAP says by law that once I claim the money, then I'm not allowed to kick her out until 1 year after I claim the money. Now, the logistics of if she's not paying, that's kind of blurred because, you know, I took the money, I got paid. They're like, she's struggling, be quiet, landlord, be quiet, you got paid. But I never wanted the money. I never did anything to partake in ERAP's request. They just sent me the money. And my lawyer still can't believe that they bully and send you the money just so they can keep the tenant happy. You know, I didn't put my part into it. And we even said it in the court. We said it to the judge. My lawyer said, Joe did not want the money. And the lawyer didn't care. I mean, the judge did not care. So here in New York City, it's very pro-tenant. you know, and you're just gonna have to swallow your pride and just pay up. And unfortunately, it's the best solution because now you start making money again, and that person's out of your life forever. All right, guys. So any comments, any questions you have, just leave it in the comment box of what you guys want to know more of. I have my email at the end of this video. Me and Phil are happy to help you guys with whatever you need. All right, guys. Hope you liked the video. Please like and share it, and have a great one.